Hello everyone, Manthroll here. Welcome back to another weekly update video for RuneScape. Today's updates include Easter minigame and Guthixian Butterfly, as well as that new NXT client and the buff bar have been released. So first, the buff bar, it has more things dealing within the graphical rework, or the patch notes. So I will bring you to that shortly. Guthixian Butterflies, since there's a couple right here, what they do is you can catch up to 20 per day, and if you are on before the time rollover, you get the full amount of the effect if you're able to get on daily. But you can collect 20 of these per day, and they will give you XP in accordance to your level in that skill, as well as whatever is your lowest skill. So whatever your lowest skill is where the XP will be allotted. And as you can see in the bottom left, it shows you right there that how many I have caught for the day. So it does keep you updated into how many you are catching. If it looks like I'm lagging, that is because of the new NXT client. Don't take that the wrong way. It's not necessarily the client's fault or the client is bad. It's that there is a slight glitch with it. And I might also be having internet problems, so that's another possibility as well. Let me check something here. Okay, so you try to do some extra stuff here to get this going. Please don't tell me I can't do anything. Alright, major time lag. But anyway, it does a lot to your lowest skill level, and it does give roughly, in accordance to your skill. There's a butterfly up here, which I want to show you about the amount of XP. Now, it was given me for thieving, which my thieving level is 55, and it was given me, let's see here, I think it was around the 880 XP. Yeah, 880 XP. And now I can get an excerpt from Guthix's memories, so I can do that. That's actually a good amount of XP for this event, if you ask me. But up next, I want to discuss the client, because like I said, I was having a little bit of issues with that client. So there's probably going to be other people out there who are going to have issues updating their client. And I'm sure some of you also had this issue with the client whenever you initially download it. It takes a little while until everything gets fully loaded. But once everything gets fully loaded, the game runs smooth. It's just the first day, maybe, or so much time afterwards, you have a little bit of issues with the client because it's trying to load all the information. So it's not necessarily that it's a bad client, it's just that it needs to have streamed and uploaded all the graphical features and icons and everything going on in the game, which with RuneScape there is a lot, because I mean there is a lot of information in this game. But either way, without any, what I had to do was, because it was claiming my Windows firewall was blocking it, which my Windows firewall was not blocking it. So I was having a little bit of issues with updating it. So if you're curious about how to properly do it, I can tell you right now. If you do run into that issue, just go to your control panel, uninstall the launcher, and then just reinstall from the website itself, from RuneScape.com. Actually download from their, legit website in their legit area. And then that will help you, and you will be able to go further. You will have to reload the cache like I am doing. That's why it's kind of a little glitchy. Okay. But to start the holiday event, which is the mini quest, you actually have to go to Berthorpe. And once you're in Berthorpe, you have to talk to the Easter Bunny. I'm hoping to show you guys this now, before it gets too much more. I might just go over the patch notes with you guys. Also, you might hear something running, and there is something running. It's actually by my feet. I have a fan going in my room now, so because it is getting warmer out. And I just noticed, because I have a little bit of a different setup, I got to resize my camera just a little bit. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so the Easter Bunny is in Berthorpe. Hopefully it'll load. I'll go over the patch notes and then I'll show you guys the Easter Bunny. So for the patch notes, let's see what time it is. It's about 6 minutes in. Okay, the Tuska teleport has been tweaked so that it no longer flashes as much. An issue with shadows or scorch marks in Edgeville when using the NXT client has been fixed. 3 height map issues around the Lumber Swamp have been fixed. Skills D&Ds and minigames. Longing Out will no longer remove the effects of the Wilder Pie. Members items can no longer be purchased from the Runespan store above on a free world. The hint arrow for Cabbage Face Punch Bonanza is now accurate. The skill guide tooltips for Sacrifice, Transfigure, and Devotion have been updated. A members only icon has been added to the Stop Burning Fish while using Cooking Gauntlets skill guide entries. Empty pots will no longer be destroyed without the destroy empty containers when cooking option is enabled. Possessed pickaxes no longer drop loot when fighting Truce Daith in Dominion Tower. Gemstone Dragon changes. The Gemstone armor set now now works with 3 items equipped and improve as you equip all 5 pieces of the armor. The Gemstone Dragons have had their combat experience increased. Gemstone Dragons will no longer repeatedly use their special attacks back to back. That actually has happened to me a few times. Sometimes they won't use them at all, and sometimes they just constantly spam it. It's kind of weird. Players now pay for Gemstone Dragon kills and charge the Gemstone armor with incomplete Hydrix instead of uncut Hydrix. Gemstone Dragon special attacks now hit in a 3x3 area, down from a 5x5. Dreadnips can now be deployed and deal damage against Hydrix dragons. And Dragon Slayer gloves now function correctly when killing the Gemstone Dragons while on a regular assignment. Buff bar changes, and boy is there a lot of buff bar changes. Okay, the buff bar and debuffs have been separated into 2 separate components. So now there's a buff area and there's a debuff area. The buff interface can display 18 icons, and the debuff interface can display 12. The NPC target interface is now slightly wider to better help it display, and players can now filter which icons are displayed using 12 different filters located in the gameplay settings interface. The following buff and debuff icons have been added: Enhanced Excalibur cooldown, Stun Immune cooldown, Blood Essence cooldown, Dreadnip timer, Beastmaster 4 stackable debuffs, Rage, Combust, Bitten, Fatigued, Yakamaru's Drench stack counter, Aftershock percentage tracker, Devoted perk timer, Enhanced Devoted perk timer, Crackling perk cooldown, Acto armor cooldown, Wise perk tracker, Sign/Portent of Life defense skill cape perk cooldown, Garagian mushroom active, Garagian mushroom cooldown, Clan avatar player XP boost, World XP boost, Portent of Restoration cooldown, Next, AOD Rage stacks, all Perfidus Thieving Clan cooldowns, all Ark Island Thieving cooldowns. The following buff icons have been tweaked. The Revenge icon now has a duration on top of the stacks gained. Transfigure now displays a percentage of health you'll regain once it is finished charging. Added buff and debuff stat counters for combat skill boosts. Tweaked all buff icon text from orange to white for better readability. All of Yakimaru's current boss buff icons have been visually updated. Added percentage tracker when charging up detonate. Okay, also they have added icon to the NPC targeting interface when using special attacks with the following weapons: Statius Warhammer, Gothic Staff, Dragon Hatchet, Barrel Chest Anchor, Bone Dagger, Bandos Book of War, and the Quake ability. In other news, there is Adamant and Rune Dragon Bones have had their names and examine changed to Hardened Dragon Bones and Reinforced Dragon Bones, respectively. A Hide All shortcut has been added to the wardrobe, along with the ability to hide slots individually from the right-click menu. Whispering voice, ambient sound used in a few eerie places has been edited. The Lucky Draw Dragon Claws display message has been updated. A quick chat response has been added to Raid's puzzle when another player mentions the same quick chat phrase. A warning message will now display when players have fewer than 500 runes remaining in their rune pouch. Players will now remain attackable after unequipping the demonic skull in the wilderness. The auto-pinning task feature has been displayed or disabled for new account holders who have played RuneScape before. That's actually kind of nice. Ice cream and anti-sun potions are no longer tradable. Various items from the beach event will now correctly remove themselves when being claimed from the Grand Exchange. Last week's hotfixes. The Baked Pie Lure Spell now functions correctly with the Wilder Pies. The Gemstone Dragon's drop table is now more generous. Ninja fixes. The broadcast text for the virtual level 120 in a skill has been updated to mention level 120. Global broadcast for achieving virtual level 120 in skills has been added. A warning when attempting to disassemble Attuned Crystal teleport seeds has been added. Attuned Crystal seeds can now be equipped in the pocket slot. The Attuned Crystal teleport seed now matches other Attuned Crystal graphics. The size of the main action bar has been decreased to allow players to create and block off action bars with no gaps. The agility shortcut fail rates for the Ardern log balance, Sinclair Mansion log balance, Cosmic Temple shortcuts, and the Lumbridge Fence shortcut have been adjusted to be less harsh. A small amount of experience has been added for the Lumbridge Fence shortcut and the Elven Pass shortcuts. World 48 now requires 2,600 total skill levels, up from 2,400. Okay, NXT release notes. A crash that sometimes happens when mass amount of players and locations overlap has been fixed. Launcher frame has been removed. The client has changed to deal with its own window, including save, restore of position, scrolling, access to launcher options. The OS X and Linux clients have been changed to binary executables. Fixes have been made to OS X and Linux crash reporting. The ability to turn off terrain blending has been added, same with the ground to core. RAM and video memory usage has been reduced. Excuse me. Script functions have been optimized. An audio-related crash has been fixed. Compression has been added to the disk cache, reducing its size from 12 gigabytes to 3 to 4 gigabytes as a one-off You are recommended to leave your client logged in for 30 minutes to apply the compression without slowing down your gameplay. So as you guys can see, I'm still having a little bit of issues. Just certain areas. Okay, so performance of disk cache validation has been optimized up to 7 times faster. Performance of loading for non-SSD users has been updated up to 2 times faster if it is fully defragged or more. And I really got to change that. That's a little loud in the headphones. Crash that would primarily occur during disk cache download at high speed or on a bad connection to the server during gameplay has been fixed. Minimum width and height has been added to the NXT client. Freeze some players experienced after relogging from the lobby has been fixed. I have been experiencing that for a while, so I'm glad that's done. Particles should no longer look washed out. Red particles will no longer look pink. An issue where hint markers would have sometimes caused freezing and crashing, such as Fistigathics or Castle Wars, has been fixed. An issue with low-spec machines crashing before startup has been fixed. Inconsistent normals have been fixed. A race condition with audio has been fixed. Linux keyboard input issues have been fixed. An issue which caused the dragging on Mac to be inconsistent has been fixed. Copyright info has been updated. The jacket's logo has been updated. So there's actually quite a bit for the updates. Now let's see if I can't get back into it. Alright everybody, I am back. Make sure everything's going. The Easter Bunny finally loaded in for me. But as you can see, the Easter Bunny is right directly south of the lodestone. This is all I wanted to show you guys. There's a little bit of dialogue. He asks if you can help him. Of course you want to help him. Don't mind that loud pop. Of course, you can help them. There's going to be some cosmetic rewards. They don't really say too much in the update of what the rewards really are. But there's always cosmetic rewards with every single holiday update. But as you guys can plainly see, I'm still lagging a little bit. Certain things are still loading into the game. It takes me a little bit longer because I do have a slower internet connection. So that's why you don't see me playing certain games. But you earn some loresome rewards, as it says. So you get a little bit of lore, and you probably get some cosmetics. The usual kind of thing. There's nothing required to have done before you actually do it, but that is the overall start point where you need to go for this. But that'll actually do it for this episode, so thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.